Our day, of course, began with the usual visit from the Stellar's Jays. While doing this, we also spotted a mountain chickadee in a nearby pine. Oh, and I can't forget that wonderful gray jay. It was now getting time to leave for breakfast, so we headed off to the main lodge.
Your fries good?
Yummy, yummy. We soon finished our breakfast and headed off on our hike. Along the way, we saw an American coot swimming in a nearby pond. We continued on. But suddenly, I heard a noise in the trees, and guess what I saw? This is the American three-toed woodpecker. The American three-toed woodpecker can be found across much of northern Canada and the United States year-round in its habitats of spruce and fir forests, commonly with fire-killed or diseased trees. The American three-toed woodpecker looks very similar to the black-backed woodpecker. To tell the difference, look at their backs. The American three-toed woodpecker will have a striped back, while the black-backed woodpeckers is a solid black. I find this quite useful when identifying these woodpeckers, because when they're pecking on wood, their back is usually going to be facing out, allowing easy identification. The black-backed woodpecker will usually nest in a conifer, living or dead, or a tree with heart rot. The heart or heartwood of a tree is the very center layer of wood. The pair will excavate this cavity and will lay 3 to 7 white eggs within, and incubate them for 11 to 14 days. You can usually tell where an American three-toed woodpecker has been, not because of the holes, but because of massive chunks of bark missing from various species of trees. Now, we've been talking about all the differences between the American three-toed woodpecker and the black-backed woodpecker, But how do you tell the two sexes of the same species from each other? So the American three-toads, female and male. Well, that's more than simple. Simply look at the back of their head. Males will have a yellow patch on their fronds or forehead. The females lack this patch. Both sexes have striped black and white backs and black and white patches on their bodies. After watching the graceful American three-toed woodpeckers, we headed on with our hike. And after 5 hours, roughly, we reached our destination. This is the Kicking Horse River. And after taking a mineral break and a little bite, we headed back the same way. And there we have it, 15.6 kilometers to the Kicking Horse River. There and back. One-way trail completed. Finally, we returned back to the lodge. And you guessed it, there were the Stellar Jays. After watching the Stellar Jays, it was time to get some dinner, so we headed off to the main lodge. Yummy, yummy! And after an hour or two, we finished our dinner and began heading off back to the lodge. And once we were settled in, we began to start the fire. Good night. Hello, it looks like you reached the end of another Birdman episode. I am actually taking requests for videos if you want to see something made by me, so if you want to make a request, just put it down in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.